Nicole from 97.9 The Box. This is Under the Influence. Throughout the day, I'm going to be sitting down with different influencers to talk about their journey, their path, and how they figured out what their gift was and went to chase that dream to make money out of it, okay? Now, I've been knowing this guy, Lee England Jr. He's from Chicago, but he's played for everybody that you can think of. He's played on some of the biggest arenas, some of the biggest stages in the country. Michael Jordan called him the Michael Jordan of the violin. Quincy Jones, what was Quincy Jones' quote about you?
Quincy Jones said I was the future of music.
He's the future of music. So he's been doing, how long have you been doing this?
I've been playing violin since I was 6.
Since he was 6 years old. I want to talk about, because we sat down and talked the other day, I want to talk about who gave you your first violin at 6 and how did you know that you really wanted to play this? Because I know a lot of us have music classes in school and they give us like the violin, the cello, we pick it up, we're like, okay, we'll play because the teacher said we have to play. But none of us really keep going when it comes to that. How did you keep going when when you got your first violin?
So when I started playing violin, I was 6. Shout out, Mom Dukes is over there. Yo, mama, what up? Alright, so she over there. But started playing violin when I was 6. I saw it when I was at school, and they brought a bunch of instruments in, and I was immediately drawn to the violin. And I told my mother and my father I want to play violin. They brought me a violin home. I took it out to play it, and immediately I was amazingly terrible. And it was the worst thing I had ever heard, and I thought that it was broke. So I told my parents, like, if this was broke, obviously it doesn't work, so go get me a violin that works, or I quit. And so I was done right there. I'm like, I quit. So I go to my father, like, yeah, Pops, I quit. And he's like, sure, you can quit. You just gotta practice 15 minutes a day. So in my rebellious nature, I was practicing so I could quit every day.
And you actually became good at it.
Yeah,
and you stuck with it. But you weren't always a violinist at heart, like that's what you do on your everyday. You went on to be a music teacher. I mean, you went on to be a regular teacher, right? Just a teacher?
No, it was music.
Oh, it was a music teacher. So you were teaching kids, and then that transition from you teaching kids to you kind of like traveling across the world to play a violin. Let's talk about that transition.
I always believed that all I needed to do was really just get in front of people. Like, it was like my talent would just make the way. Even as a teacher, I was calling the radio station in Chicago, trying to get on bigger stages, and I ended up getting an audition to go and do Diddy's Making His Band. So I actually didn't even finish the whole school year in pursuit of my dreams. I'm like, who am I to tell these kids to go out and pursue your dreams if I don't go for it first?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You did make the band.
I did.
Well, you did make the band.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, which band? D-A-B-A-N-D? That one I know.
No, it was one he was doing for his he was doing a Last Train to Paris album. But it was all like auto-tune.
Okay.
And then Jay-Z dropped Death of Auto-Tune. He scrapped the whole project.
So y'all didn't even get to, But that might have been one of the best things for you, because I feel like for you with your journey, it's kind of been like, we talked about like a lot of the downfalls you had, like from you being homeless at one point, crashing couches, but it built your character to make you who you were. After you made the band and that was scratched, what did you do?
So I went back to Chicago and I realized that teaching wasn't my thing. Like, I didn't have the demeanor, and I definitely looked too young to be disciplining kids. They thought I was like their big brother.
Yeah.
So I didn't go into teaching, and I started just being out, like gigging and doing certain things like that. And there was a point in time where like I had all these gigs lined up at the beginning of the year, and they all got like canceled for some reason. I couldn't pay my rent or none of that stuff, but I've had a lot of angels, show up in my life, and my landlord at the time was one of them. And he told me, I support you, I love what you're doing, so when you get the money, you let me know. And so in that time, necessity is the mother of all invention. So I had put together my first CD because, like my spirit was led. It was saying like, this CD is going to pay your rent or whatever. And I remember I had one gig right after I finished it. And I'm like, I'm about to sell all these CDs and pay my rent. And I sold 5 of them. And I was like, I'm about to give these away, man. I'm mad, right? And so, my spirit was still like, nah, just relax. And after that, literally, my CD was the thing that paid my rent for like the next 5 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was selling CDs like crazy.
Your gift will make room for you.
Definitely.
I always feel like that. You talked about how your landlord allowed you to pay the rent whenever you could.
Yeah.
Because he was so impressed by what you were doing, about you chasing your dreams, and had you not quit your job as a teacher to follow your dreams, he'd probably be like, we can't skip out. He loves playing. He loved listening to you play, right?
Yeah.
You were talking about that, how he loves listening to you play in your apartment. Now, how did you meet Michael Jordan for Michael Jordan to really dub you the Michael Jordan of the violin, and you were part of the Jordan brand? Let's talk about that.
So So as I started doing gigs in Chicago after I stopped teaching, I ended up at Mr. G's. It was like the stepper set. It was like different for me, and I had the place rocking. And the guy who was opening, I mean not opening, but who was the headliner was K-John, and he had just put out On the Ocean.
I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he took me on tour with him.
Okay.
And had me record. I was on his project, and in the time that we were touring, he would give me 5 minutes on stage by myself. And, you know, I was like winning crowds over, and, you know, show after show after show. And we ended up in front of MJ during All-Star Weekend, and it was for his birthday. And it was him and 100 A-list celebrities. And we were playing during cocktail hour, and literally nobody was paying attention. And I started with classical music, a few heads turned. It would morph into some hip hop. And by the end of it, I was actually playing Biggie. And by that time, everybody was like, the way y'all looking right now was the way they was looking. Like they was in on the performance. And so when I got off stage, you know, he kind of had right of first refusal. He was the first person that I talked to when I got off stage. And he was like, you know, I'm gonna take care of him. And so that relationship turned into an endorsement, which is actually one of the reasons why I'm even here, because of Chris Paul. I was doing events with him, so whatever city he's in, I've been there performing with him and for him, and that's what brought me here to Houston a few months ago, and I realized like how much love it was here, so I was like, I should do my own show.
Yeah, and come back.
Attention up next guests. Reimagining your why. Entrepreneurship 101 begins.
And then you met Quincy Jones. How was that? Because I mean, Quincy Jones is the godfather of music. You know, how did you meet Quincy Jones?
So I met Quincy Jones. It all circles back to the Jordan brand, truly.
Yeah.
I met Quincy Jones after doing a show for Chris Paul. A lady booked me to do a show that he was in the audience, and when I played, we did an arrangement of All of Me by John Legend. And when I finished, you know, I kind of like ducked off, and I was hiding like backstage just to kind of like relax after such a huge performance. And he walked in because he was getting ready to go on stage, and he sat down and he said, he asked me two things. He said, "What's your name?" I said, "Lee England Jr." And he said, "And who did the arrangement of the piece that you just played?" And I was like, "I did." And he got up and walked away. He was like, "That's all I needed to know." And so he went on stage to, you know, deliver some award. And when he came back, you know, I'm thinking like, that's Quincy Jones. I gotta find something to say to him. And I didn't. He just sat back down and we talked for a long time. Yeah.
Super dope. I know we were talking about a moment that you had with Alicia Keys, because she's like one of your favorites. And you really, when you were doing a talent show when you were younger, you played Alicia Keys, and then it all circled back to you actually meeting Alicia Keys. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, so I did a talent show when I was in college. It was $1,000 winner takes all, and I won. And you know, that's when I actually knew, like, okay, there's something to this violin thing, right? And so I had played If I Ain't Got You. So fast forward years later, this was last year, like during the summer, I was doing an event for Bono.
Oh, wow.
However that was. So the same lady that got me in front of Quincy Jones, you know, kind of like exposed me to, you know, this whole different level of performances. You know, shouts out to Regina, love her. But she was there, and I, you know, finessed my way into a conversation and was like, I got to play for you now. And so I did, and actually she brought me in to perform at Swiss Beats' birthday party, but it was like just with the family on this yacht that was like as big as this room. It was crazy, right? And I just got a call like 3 days ago to come and perform with her in Los Angeles for the iHeart Music Award.
So that's where you're headed next?
Yep.
Super, super dope. You know, my brand Under the Influence is about people that, you know, just are relentless with chasing their dreams and not giving up when you feel like you know that this is your gift, and then also finding out what your purpose is and using your gift and your purpose, your passion to walk in purpose. Throughout this journey, what is something that made you stay the course? Because a lot of times people want to give up. You know, like I know I've been doing radio for 12 years, but I didn't just start getting really, really paid until the last few years. I was broke, lights off. You know what I'm saying? Car repo. And people only see us in our glory. They don't see, you know, the story for real. What has kept you on this journey?
Well, prayer.
That's
really been one of the like special things. But I've never not believed in myself. I've always believed in myself. And outside of that, there was a time when I was like, I'm gonna quit. And I said I'm gonna give myself a year. And in that year was up. I was sitting on Quincy Jones' couch playing my music for him.
It's crazy.
I said, well, that about affirms it.
God was like, hold on, let me just show you a little bit.
Yeah.
Just hold on just a little bit. Yeah. Lee England Jr., where can they follow you on social media?
Lee England Jr. is L-E-E, England like the country, J-R, that's Lee England Jr. I'm on all social media platforms.
Y'all give it up for Lee England Jr., man. Doing amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, and you have a show tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'm performing tonight at the Czech Center Museum. The tickets are on my website, which is leeenglandjr.com. And we're having an after party afterwards at Lucille's. So come hang out. It's gonna be special. I can guarantee that.
All right, appreciate you.
All right, appreciate you too.